Group 13, our members include Marius, Daniel, Aaron, Karen, and Anthony. This is our video presentation for phase 1 of the group project. We are developing an application to collect online reviews for an array of products. End users are required to create a user profile which assigns a user account ID. Users are encouraged to provide a score on a scale of 1 to 5 on different products and also say whether other reviews are helpful through the comments. A user will have the option to follow different products, which will generate a following feed based on their following list of products. Data collected in the application is used to deliver product insight to other consumers. This is our entity relationship diagram. A few of our main entities include user, comment, review, product, and follows. We have each entity unique by a primary key with their ID. So for user, it'll be user ID, product PID, review RID, and comment CID. Some of the application requirements include a user to have a user profile created before writing a review for a product. A user profile registration requires a unique email and a full name to allocate a user ID. A product has to have a product name and a product ID associated with it. A review has to have a review score, review time, review ID, review body, and a title associated with it. A comment has to have a body and a comment ID. A user will be able to see comments and reviews written by other people alongside with specific details such as time, body, and titles. Each user will have many instances of the follow entity associated with them, which will indicate the products that he or she follows. A user is able to generate multiple comments for review and also review the same product multiple times in case they change their mind. So to give an overview of how the application is going to work, I will be presenting a simple use case scenario. Let's say Joe wants to use the application and he creates a profile using his email and full name. To log in, he will have to type in the email address after creating their account, and if he is in the database, he will be granted access to the web application. If he wants to browse a list of products, he can see the reviews for them and comments from other users to get a better idea of the quality of the product. In the case that he wants to post a review himself, he can do so multiple times without being limited to reviewing a product only once. He can also post multiple comments for the same or different products, this way contributing to the community that we are trying to create. Joe can follow a product, which will be linked to the list of products identified by his follows features incorporated into his user profile. By following a specific product, he can then look at his feed and see all the reviews and comments associated with it, whether they are generated without having to look for them in the product section. Moving on to the constraints, a user ID and product ID are foreign keys of a review in order to accommodate the requirements. A user ID and review ID are a foreign key of a comment. A user ID and a product ID are foreign keys of an instance of a follow entity. A review must have a user associated with it. A review must have a product associated with it. A review is a weak entity set of a product, which means when a product instance is destroyed, so will all of its reviews. A review score has to be between 1 to 5 stars. An instance of the follow entity must have a follow ID. An instance of the follow entity must have a user and product associated with it. The body of the review is limited to 500 characters. The body of a comment is limited to 150 characters. A comment must have a user and a review associated with it. For the implementation part of our project, we will be running a SQL database, a MySQL database. We'll be using the web development framework Ruby on Rails, so the backend will be implemented in the programming language Ruby. Our front end will be plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.